Good evening, SBC. Good evening, SBCC. And good evening, everyone in all points in between. This is Michael Walker, your founder and head chef of SBC. And welcome to this night's edition, the August 24th, 2021 edition of SBC Tuesday Talk. Glad you can join us. Glad you choose to spend your Tuesday night with us. We got a great show tonight. We got an exciting show. As you can look at it, things, I don't know what to say about that brother in that picture, but we got a lot of things going though. Yeah. Uh, so glad to have y'all here and everything. And well, we got some good topics tonight. And I have a very special guest. Well, I don't want to count her as a guest. She's been here. This is her third time here, so she's not a guest. So she's a member by proxy, though. So let me hit it. Look at her. You could hear her giggling already, though. But let me introduce to you my good friend, Miss Ty. From Red Lipstick Vibes. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy to be here with you.
Glad to have you here. Let me speak to our people. Michael, glad to have you here. Yes. Who else? Annie Earl. Okay, glad to have you. I think this is your first time here, ain't it? Let us know. Glad to have you here, Mike. Wanda, glad to have you here. Danielle, okay, I think this is her first time. Okay, Mike. Jelly, glad to have you here. Cliff, hey there, brother Cliff. Teresa, bringing some ice cream. Teresa, how you doing? Brother VL4, so glad to have you here. Stacy, glad to see you back. Oh, we got a bunch of folks in here.
Yeah.
Kimberly Bess, that's good. Katie, that's good. Tamara, glad to have you here. Yeah, hey Mike.
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hey, well, you ready for this, Miss Ty?
I'm ready.
Okay.
Ready as I can be.
I don't know. Wait. And we got Liz. She just celebrated her birthday.
Happy birthday.
She just celebrated her 17th birthday. You know, she's growing up though on us.
Yeah.
And Travis. Okay.
Hello.
Okay. Here we go, folks. As you know, in the group, for many years, at least the past 5 years, or maybe longer than that, there's always been that argument about while it may be okay it is okay for a man to pursue a woman in regards to a relationship, but it's wrong for a woman to pursue a man for a relationship. And, you know, there's been this argument, and people like to use that, well, he that findeth a wife findeth a good thing, which they taken out of context, you know.
Right.
They talk about discovery. They're not saying seekingly, you know, actively seeking though.
Right.
But I read in a comment, and I forgot the young lady, I need to credit her for this. She was saying that, well, men want to be pursued by women, and this just making men soft, or men being soft because they want a woman to pursue them. So, first topic for today. Does a man wanting to be pursued by a woman makes him soft, or makes him a simp, or makes him a beta male? Folks, what say you? What say you, Ty?
Let's see how I will answer this question, because it can get complicated a little bit. I would say yes to that. I don't think I would use the word soft or anything like that, but I'm looking at the dynamics of, a man pursuing a woman and what men get out of pursuing women. And if you want a woman to pursue you, that means that you are switching the roles.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying? So that's why I say maybe they're like a beta male or something, because like a beta male, they are, they're the more submissive in the relationship, and the woman is the more the dominant in the relationship. So if a man wants a woman to pursue him, that means that he wants to be dominated. So yeah, I mean
Mm.
that's my take on it. And then I'm thinking like, okay, um, like to what extent do you mean by like pursue them? So because that has
Mm.
to be factor in as well. Are you just saying that oh, if a guy just likes a girl to come up to him, like, hey, can I get your number, that kind of thing, if being aggressive in that way? Or are you saying like a woman that keeps saying, why I want a relationship with you, kind of thing, you know what I mean? So I mean that was a lot, I know.
No, no, no. That's good. You. No, you thorough. That's I like that. You thorough. But okay, and you bring up dominance.
Mhm.
Now, dominance is a important word in any type of relationship,
Mhm.
be it romantic, platonic, unfortunately, friendship, even business.
Right. Yeah.
Somebody try to see, who got the biggest pair in the room. Somebody
Mhm. Yeah.
has to be the dominant one.
Mhm.
So, and well, we all grown folks here, some men like to be dominated
Yes.
in more ways than one.
Yeah.
So, is it a turn on for them? For some guys,
It
I mean,
is.
okay, like I don't mind a woman letting me know that she's interested. I've
Mhm.
said this once and I say it again. It's nothing wrong with her approaching me, but I also feel that once she, informs me of her interests, then that's when
Mhm.
I take the reins
Right.
and do my part.
Right. Yeah.
Would you like to go out? Would you
Mhm.
like to go to the movies?
Mhm.
Fix you dinner, what have you. I
Right.
believe that's where we ought to take control then.
Right. Yeah, I
But,
agree with that. Yeah.
but if you just let her, and I hope I don't sound chauvinist in saying this though,
Go ahead.
because but if you just let her do all the work,
Mhm.
like Rasputa, or
Mhm.
something like that, you're my man, come here, you're gonna
Right.
do this, I'm
Right.
gonna pay for this, I'm gonna do
Mhm.
all this. Then, where's your
Some
independence? Yeah.
some men are like that. They like the woman to take charge of everything. Like tell them what to do. Tell them where we going out to dinner, or when we going out to dinner. They have they're what's the word, emasculated.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, it's just, it depends on the man. It really is, because I know a lot of men that don't like aggressive women.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like women to come up to them. They rather do all the pursuing. um but then you have some men, they're like scared of the woman. They don't want to talk to the woman, so they ready for the woman to come to them. And so you have, three different types of men in the world. So
Three different types of men.
hmm
Could you specify? I want to hear.
we'll talk about that later. Look at you.
Okay. Ooh.
We'll talk about that later. There's
Okay.
three types of men in the world.
Oh, okay. Cliff says, can she at least drop a hint?
So you have your beta and you have your alpha, but there is one in between. So you have three types of men in the world. What, Mike?
You and I gonna have a long talk. We gonna see
I
about this.
know, I know, I know.
Okay. Michael McKeever says, how could you court her if she's taking the lead? Would that be considered courting for that matter?
Well, I mean, you have to look at it like this. You got women getting on one knee asking the man to marry them. So, I mean, I guess, like I said before, the roles are being reversed. Now, the women are so masculine now that they are taking charge of even in the relationships. Like the men now are so weak, and they don't even realize that they're losing their rightful place to a woman.
Mm. Well, wow. Jelly says, I'm wondering if a woman pursuing a man sets the tone or foundation of the
It does.
relationship. I
It
believe so
does.
too. I
It
believe so
does.
too.
Because straight out the gate, she's going to be calling the shots. So if they get married, you just imagine how it's going to be when they get married.
Mm.
He's going to be henpecked. Daddy, what they call it? Henpeck man?
Uh-oh.
Henpeck man. OG Dan over there in the corner, y'all.
Oh, man. We
He
will
gonna
have
be
a
a
show.
henpeck man. He gonna be
Oh.
a henpeck man. She gonna tell him everything. She gonna emasculate him big time. He gonna
Uh, uh, could you have him
what,
just
Daddy?
could you have him just least wave
Oh,
for the SB?
they want to see you, Dad.
Uh-oh. Folks.
Um, it's one of my co-hosts, and he's having his show, and he wants you to come wave to his audience. He wants you to come wave to his audience.
Uh-oh, folks.
Yeah. He said he ain't comb his head, y'all. He said let him brush his head.
Oh, goodness. Folks, you in for a treat, that's all I'm going to say. But you, listen, you bring up a good point.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that picture where that lady was proposing to the man? They were on the beach, and she was pregnant. I mean, it looked like she was about to pop. I'm like sitting up here like, what day? What's up with that though? And then she's on her knee. He ought to be shading himself. Now, let that mess happen. I don't know what to say. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ty's father here. How you doing? Welcome to Tuesday Talk.
Oh, did I turn it? Can you say something? I can't hear you.
I'm here.
I think I must have did something too.
I can hear you, but barely.
Can you hear me now?
I hear you, but not clear. I'd say it like that. I hear you, but I don't, if that makes sense. Why you? Let me read this. No, I don't hear you. I don't hear you. Let me read these comments. Tamara, if a woman is pursuing a man, that means she is I hear you now. She is chasing him. He should be running from him. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He running. Okay, right, Mike? How do you, what you know? Right. Oh, Joe said here. Oh, but we got a whole bunch of folks. There are some self-esteem issues here in this too, on both parts. Now let's kind of treat this for a moment. I can understand the self-esteem issue on the guy's part. He might be this milk toast, wishy-washy, little, thank you, ma'am. I mean, I can understand that. But where would it be an esteem issue? Or maybe it might be too much self-esteem, or
I would say sometimes it is the self-esteem issues because, sometimes we take on um, independence or dominance to cover up other things.
Mm.
Um, you know, a lot of times I would hear doctors, talk about, when people are overweight and they are padding themselves to cover themselves, protect themselves for stuff that they may have experienced. And if you ever watch, 600-Pound Life, it's always some traumatic thing that happened to them to catapult people into doing things to mask what's behind all that.
Yeah.
Sometimes women can take on aggressive nature to do the same thing. Um, so it could be something there that they're trying to, how you can be like a lot of times the class clown just acts a fool because they're like the least liked person or whatever. So they become the class clown.
Mm-hmm.
It's sort of like that a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
So women, that maybe they weren't the popular girl or whatever, growing up or whatever, or didn't have much luck with men, so they take on this very aggressive persona or masculine persona, and just so happen they just find a guy that likes that. So yeah, so I agree with her. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Let me see what Leslie says. Leslie says dominator, submissive, and evenly adaptable. Okay. And Jelly says, is that man looking for a mama
Yes.
with babe benefits?
You're absolutely right.
Just like some young ladies looking for a daddy.
Exactly.
With some babe benefits. That's it sounds on the surface, that sounds nasty.
It does.
On the surface though. And Tia says she wants to know, Tamara, I don't believe there is anything wrong with a woman being assertive. We know what we want to. Yeah, we know what we want to.
Yeah, being assertive and aggressive and chasing a man is two different things. So let's look at it in the animal kingdom. You know, the lion likes to chase to get what he wants. And if we look at men today, if you give it up easily, if you're the one that's pursuing them, they target you as easy. So you're not wife material, you're easy material. I mean, it is what it is. So you have to be very careful of, when you're saying I'm being assertive and I know what I want. That's all fine and good. But to a lot of men, that will come off as you are, easy prey for just part-time, not full-time.
Okay, and I'm snickering at Michael Jones McKeever's comment.
What did he say?
There it go on the screen. I don't know if I want to read it, but it'll.
Oh, yes, they do. I mean, and you have to make sure you know the difference between the two. Now, I mean, just like you said before, Mike. If a woman says, "Hey, I like you," whatever, that's all fine and good. You're asserting, making sure the man knows that, that you like him or whatever. But when it comes down to like dealing in the relationship and actually like pursuing that man and like, when are we getting married? We should get married such and such, and we should do this, and we should do that. Oh, that man's gonna get tired of that. Unless he's a simp. He's gonna get tired of that. Because no man likes to be dominated by a woman like that. Unless he is simp. Because it's like you're taking his power away if you're telling him what to do every 5 minutes. how is he going to lead when you're constantly leading him? So how is he supposed to lead a household? That doesn't make sense. So women need to know when to fall back from being assertive, and when to fall back and just be a woman, soft, feminine, and cooperative. There's a difference.
Wait a minute, I'm going to.
I'm going to get a lot of hate mail, but that's okay.
No. What
That's the problem we got today. Women are so. Okay, go ahead.
Look, simp. I want to clarify for y'all. Simp, someone who does way too much for a person they like.
Mm-hmm.
Simp. Just want to let y'all know. So if we use that, we might use that term some more tonight, though. So, oh wow, and wow. Okay, let's look at some more comments. Joseph says, a man should know and be a man in their role, and a woman should know her role, and as a woman, know when and how to submit. And these days, submit is a cussing word, but
yeah, and it's so silly because it's like, I say on podcasts all the time. Submission. The word submit is not a dirty word. It's not slave. That's not what it means. Actually, to have a man that you are blessed with to submit to is actually an honor. Mm-hmm. So it's an honor to be submissive. So yeah, I agree with her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Anna says, bring up a good point. Men have become so used to thirsty women that they expect women to chase them, and that is such a turnoff for a feminine woman.
Anna, yes, indeed. Yep.
So when did that stuff start? When did that trend start, though? What's your earliest recollection of
feminist movement?
You think it started that then? That's like late 60s, early 70s.
Yep. Right when the feminist movement happened, that's when women start to change. Yep.
That's interesting right there. I might need to do
independent, and the independence thing. I can do everything a man does. You can't tell me nothing because we're equal. So when we put in place, I'm equal to a man. What you think they're gonna start acting like? A man.
Okay. Okay. Leslie says, I'm not trying to be chased. I just want a man who wants me to be a part of his life. Okay. Travis says, we must look at how the man or woman was raised. That's a good point right there.
I was about to say that, yeah.
That's a good point right there. And what type of household they were reared in.
Right. I mean, a lot of people, they just look at the guy or the girl they just dated. No, baby, you need to look at how grandma is, how grandpa is, the aunts, the uncles, cousins, everybody. You need to go to that cookout, honey, because you need to check out all them people. Because the apple don't fall from the tree.
Might see some
check it out.
Might see some of your kinfolk there. Who knows? But
right.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, wait a minute, hold up.
Wait, hold up.
You married? You can't marry me. This is not West Virginia. Oh, I mean, disclaimer. I'm just. I'm sorry, West Virginia people. I'm just saying. Put allegedly down there on Mike.
You know what? Okay.
Put allegedly down there.
Oh goodness. I can't with you tonight. Josette says, a woman that feels like she needs a man to feel better about herself or to complete her or to validate her. So she is always pursuing a man. Yep. Underneath all of that, she may have a self-esteem issue. Wow.
Yeah.
And our Jelly I feel like the woman should be assertive in her letting the man know she's interested in the man. Pursuit like in the man's pursuit like in the animal kingdom. Okay.
Well, you have to be careful when you say assertive, because there's a thin line there. You can be too assertive and they be like, okay, yeah, you sure the streets. So you need to be very careful when you're trying to let someone know that you are interested in them. There are very feminine and subtle ways that a woman can let a man know that she's interested in him. Nowadays, these girls go up to the dude and just grab the crotch and they just do all kind of crazy stuff, you know. So you have to be very careful when you say, you know, assertive. You know, you keep it classy. That's all I'm saying. Just keep it classy.
They actually do that.
Yeah.
They grab the goods.
Oh my God, they grab on the guy. You know, they're be all bossy, like here's my number, and put it in their crotch of the pants and carrying on, and just do all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, they do that. These young girls is crazy.
Wow. Angela Washington says, I think some people don't know the difference between being interested and being assertive.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
You can show interest in a man and not be assertive and aggressive with trying to chase a man.
Yeah, correct, Angela.
And Zola says, define pursuit. Does that mean making the first move? Or does it go beyond that? I've seen a few groups that men don't mind when women initiate.
It goes beyond that. It's not just the first move.
Wow. And I gave the definition of pursue, and it has some serious connotations to it, though. But I just use this for this particular conversation, though. But the bottom line is, and we'll move on, is I won't say make them soft, because I think they may have already been a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
They was already there.
Yeah, I think they may have already been a little mushy before the end, though, and a little simp. But hey, again, the roles has been reversed.
Right.
And I talked about this months ago about like how the father is being portrayed in the media in shows like he's the simple-minded one, while the mother is almost the head of the house. So I don't know where all that.
They got it from real life. Yeah, from real life.
And a true masculine man is like a soft woman.
Yes.
God even designed our bodies to show what we are like. No being vulgar, but we are all grown. So think about it. You're absolutely right. Women are designed to have soft body parts. Yes. Men have hard body parts. And that is mostly what attracts women to men. His hardcore nature. I'm just saying.
I like him. Yes. High five, girl.
I'm gonna say this before we move on. Is I was talking to a young lady, I was nice or what have you, being a gentleman, and then one day I got assertive. I gave an order like, "You better do this now" or something like that. Stood up for myself, and she got turned on by that.
Yes.
I was like, oh, okay.
We like that.
Oh.
Don't let nobody tell you don't. Cause
So
Me like that.
I'm gonna look into. I'm gonna look into that though. So, anyway,
Yes.
anyway. Uh, Let me see. Well, since we went to this, let's talk about self-esteem issues.
Okay.
Self-esteem issues. Oh, I hate to pick on the young lady because you and I were talking about this, but
Yeah. Yeah.
Lizzo, and y'all remember about 2-3 months back, I had a video of her. She was dealing with a dark period, and went on TikTok
Mm-hmm.
crying and what have you. But now it's at the point, she's a plus size woman, you
Mm-hmm.
know. And I'm definitely not knocking that because I'm an economy sized man myself. So I'm definitely not but she does things, that people that already don't like plus size people gonna show enough criticize you because you are plus size.
Mm-hmm.
And then once the people criticize, you come online, you cry about it. Of course, people say that's all right, that's all right, that's all right. And then guess what? This is sure sugar is sweet. Days later, you go out and do something else again. Then 1 or 2 days later, you're back online. You're crying about it, and then guess what? You do it again, repeat, wash,
Mm-hmm.
rinse, repeat. So the latest thing she's done, and you and I were talking about this, she made a comment about, it's hard for me to say it because it's kind of funny though, about she doesn't help me out. She doesn't use the deodorant.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I just want y'all to just, that was she told the world. She doesn't use deodorant or doesn't use regular deodorant. Now people already people are already giving you hell as is. People already giving you hell as is.
Right.
Now you're talking about personal hygiene. Do
Yeah.
you do this? Do crazy things because you may have underlying esteem issues. I think she's a beautiful young lady. She's talented. At least she's book sense smart, at least.
Mm-hmm.
But there got to be some kind of underlying self-esteem issues. Why do you do this? Help me. Help me, Ty. Help me, SBC.
Well, the first thing is, it's a business. Her antics sells records. Her antics get views. Her antics makes money. Um, Not to say that, right, she may want the attention. Right, exactly. Um, like Cardi B would say it all the time. You don't know the things behind the scenes. A lot of times, the record labels will make you do crazy things because
Mm.
that brings record sales. Then, for example, all these little beefs between the rappers and all that kind of stuff. All that stuff is made up
Mm.
because it creates media storm and it creates money.
Mm.
So that's one component of it. And she knew what she was getting into when she got into the music industry. This is what about. Secondly, then she is competing as a plus size woman. She's competing against smaller size women. So we said this earlier, what do people do when they're lacking? They act a fool. So right now she's acting like the class clown because so she can get the attention away from the smaller girls. So, and then in turn, when she doesn't get the reception that she thinks she should have, she cries about it. Allegedly cry about it. So, she knows what she's doing. I don't believe that it's all, oh, I'm just being me. No, I can't go with that. You know what you're doing, because like you said earlier, she keeps doing the same thing over and over again. It's a repeated cycle. If you knew what had happened the last time you did this drama, you knew what you did the last time when you twerked with nothing on at the basketball court, and then you're going to do it again in the yard with the flute player. You knew what happened then. What they say, if somebody keep doing the same thing over and over again, they what? You're crazy.
Insanity. Insanity is doing,
okay.
Yeah, insanity is doing the same thing over and over again.
That, or you're doing it deliberately. You're doing it deliberately. So there may be some self-esteem issues there, maybe, but for the most part, it's all for it's all for show.
Angela Washington says some people are so used to dysfunction that they cause strife in all areas of their lives. Some people believe that even if it's bad attention, it's still attention, and that contributes to the cycle of chaos in their lives.
And you have to look at it. Bad attention begets record sales. You get views with bad attention. Now, just look at it now. If somebody does something good, you won't even get as many views as or likes or whatever, or attention when you're doing something good. But when you do something bad, baby, millions. You know what I mean?
Millions.
She found, so her crew, her people found exactly what will make them, because you noticed, like, sometimes she'll stop for a while.
Yep.
You won't see nothing crazy for a minute, and then all of a sudden, boom. Now you notice that when this last thing came out, guess what she was doing? Record with Cardi B. It's all the game.
Well, like the old show business said, bad publicity is good publicity or something like that. Yep. But there's no such thing as bad publicity.
Exactly.
Yeah, but at what cost, though?
Exactly.
Really?
And that's the problem. I mean, take a look at what's her name, Azalea Banks. Girlfriend done gone crazy, trying to do the same exact thing, trying to fit in, trying to become the it girl, trying to become the big star or whatever. And so I'm going to do whatever. Now, old girl crazy now. She's doing voodoo and carrying on now. I mean, so she really needs to be careful, in trying to compete in this industry, because not only because she's a heavy woman, but you're a Black woman, and all the things that you're doing right now, you and everybody else that's doing it, you are, I hear the whole thing of like, oh well, we shouldn't raise your children. Parents raise your children, but look. You on TV 24/7. You're in the music. What you think the kids going? The little girls is looking at you.
Yes.
They're not looking at mama. They're looking at you. So
yes.
I mean, you do have some type of responsibility in what you project out to the world. And right now, across the country, across the world, when you see, other countries see a Black woman, they automatically think, what? We ratchet.
Yeah.
We loud. We, all of us uneducated, ready to fight and all that kind of stuff. Because that's what they putting out.
And you know what? You saying little girls looking up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Whether we want to admit it or accept it, more or less social media is raising today's children.
Exactly.
They're not going on what we say.
Mm-hmm.
They going on what's trending.
Yeah.
On TikTok, on Instagram, on Twitter.
Yeah.
You know, so again, that's where you do it. That's
Mm-hmm.
so. And right here, someone had a great comment.
Mm-hmm.
Zola says, must be a trend. Folks talking about not bathing in the traditional sense. I
Yeah,
have been seeing this. Yeah.
I just said that. Like, what is going on with all these celebrities talk about not bathing
Yeah.
and being? I'm like,
And being funky.
now see, okay, all right. Now you have to look at this thing now. Now, if you are, I don't know if we have any vegan people. Like, I mean,
We
strict
do.
vegan
We,
people. And we know that because you don't indulge in the types of food and chemicals, things that we do, your
mhm.
body doesn't make a lot of the odors and things like that. But let's get to Lizzo, baby. You a big girl. You sweat in places that other people don't sweat, and for you not to wear the deodorant, I cannot. You is nowhere near vegan, so I know you eat meat and all kind of processed stuff. So that alone gives you body odor. So no, she has to be trolling. She has to be trolling,
I,
or maybe she was saying that she doesn't use the traditional deodorant and she used like a natural deodorant.
but you know what? Okay, I'm gonna address this. You know, I say this big, little, small, rotund. What's that? Skinny, thin. You
Mhm.
don't bathe. You don't
Right,
wear deodorant. You gonna stink. Your butt
right.
gonna
All that
stink.
sweat you're carrying on, and
That's anybody.
they
And
talking about, oh, and what's their name? Talking about they like if they see dirt on each other. What?
it was one actress. She said I think she said that if she don't bathe her children until that
Ashton Kutcher's wife, and he came out and said it too. They don't bathe the children unless they see dirt on them.
that's not that's just but I'm gonna tell you something about that natural deodorant. I've heard horror stories about natural deodorants.
I've
Okay.
tried. I've tried one. It was okay. It's okay in the wintertime. It's not okay in the summertime. So really, you sweat, child. I need some extra protection there. As long as the deodorant doesn't have aluminum in it, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Joe says if a woman smelling like a man, they are trying to attract the man that they are somewhat. Joe said they are somewhat bisexual. Some men want to be. Oh my!
I can't. I can't. I can't.
Well, might as well go here. We here
Go
now.
ahead and read it.
Some men want to be bent over. Some women are dominant in the.
Yeah.
I wish it was your show. I could really comment on this one over here. I could really say something about this one. Some women are dominant in the bedroom, and we'll do that to a man. Undercover brothers are looking for. That's it.
I
You
can't.
get what I'm. We
Yeah,
get what
I
you're
get what you're
saying.
saying. Yeah, I
Joe
get.
said, "Only Joe, I love you," Joe said, but you
It's
are telling
something.
the truth.
You tell the truth. Yeah.
I've heard horror stories. One of my best. I ain't gonna tell his business, but I heard some horror stories. That's all I'm gonna say. That's uh uh Henry says she's claiming to be vegan for several months. She's
Not
not
with that
using.
hot dog she ate the other day. What?
Well, maybe she just starting. I don't know. I can't. I I mean meat, but
Yeah, I
right.
thought maybe she wasn't using traditional deodorant. She's probably
Yeah.
using like a natural deodorant, which is fine. Yeah.
Wanda says right. We got crevices. Yes, we
Okay.
do. We have crevices, rolls, and out
You,
interdimension.
you know how many crevices and rolls she got because she showed it on TikTok.
Well,
So,
leave it alone. Okay. Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
disgusting.
I'm just saying.
No matter the size, if you're not taking care of your body and conscious of your hygiene, you just nasty.
Amen.
You don't walk past some water. Me and Quanta shower 2 times a day and wear deodorant, lotion, etc. It's nasty. not
Exactly.
to bathe. Ooh, y'all some funky folks out there. I swear. And it's bad when you got celebrities want to be funky.
Yeah, I think Ice-T's wife came out and said the same thing. She don't take.
Oh, no, folks. Okay, y'all. Okay. That's okay. We got one more comment. One more comment. But we got two more comments. Some men like the natural. I don't. Some men like Deborah Reed says some men like the natural odor, which they call essence of their woman.
Well, that depends. Because we do have our own natural scent. But you need to know the difference between you being funky and having your own pheromone scent. Every woman has their own pheromone scent. So that is true.
That is true.
There is a difference between you need to wash your behind and natural scent. It's a big difference. If you smell like the trash dump, no.
I know. They're celebrities. They don't do stuff most days, so they can just be funky in their homes.
That's true.
Man,
they can be laid out and be stinky all together. Mm-hmm.
Be funky. Well, let's go to the last topic for the night. Okay. We'll touch on this right quick. And as you know, we got businesses. Yeah. You know, I have my podcast and 3 groups and everything else. And of course, you have Red Lipstick Vibes. And of course, we got some other folks out there who got their own podcasts and brands and businesses and everything else, though.
Yeah.
And, you know, we trying to get the piece of the pie. We trying to move on up. You know, we trying to be our own boss, you know.
Right.
But it's so hard to be your own boss or just be a boss, period, when people don't support you. You know, and you're not asking for much. Yeah. You're not asking for much. And it's worse when it comes from the people who claim to be your family and claim to be your friends.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, so I guess this topic is simple. If I could find it, is lack of support for your business endeavors from family and friends.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing when you got the public that don't believe in you, though. But why your own people treat you bad? Why do you go ahead?
Too close. That's why it's very hard to even hire your own family members. Too close in the business. They know you, like, oh, you know, I can't tell you nothing, you know, tell you how to do your job. Oh, it's all right, Junebug. You know, we go way back.
Yeah.
You know, you can't, you know, I touched on this a little bit when I did my cousin pastor video.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine in New Orleans, she said this. She said, you know, your biggest supporters is going to be strangers and not your friends and family. But then when you make it big, they're the first ones to have their hands out. You know, like for me, you know, I just don't have a podcast, but I have a business. I have one business. I have an autism initiative and some other things that I do. And just speaking of the podcast, I have like almost 1,000 people on my page, and like 200 of them are like family and friends. Mm-hmm. And just to get them to go like the YouTube page or subscribe to the YouTube page, it's like I'm asking them to give me $1,000. It's free. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and just log out. You don't have to do nothing. Like, why is it important for you to do that? But at the same time, when you have an event And when you're doing something, you want to send me an invite and tag me into it and stuff like that. Man, I delete and block that mess so quick and fast. I don't got time. Because when I go on my analytics on YouTube and I go through everyone that subscribe to my channel, and I don't see but only 4 family members and only a few friends on there, if you don't get out of my face.
And you know what? You told the God's heaven truth about that YouTube page.
Mm-hmm.
Now I want to turn this to a rant. Yes, I am.
That's it. Go ahead and rant because I'm about to go in again. Go ahead.
I may have a combined number of 30,000 people in all my groups.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get 1,000.
Right.
To help me monetize it.
Exactly. That's what I said.
It won't cost you a doggone dime.
No dime. Just to help me get monetized. Like, hit the button and then you can mute. You don't have to get no notifications of you. I mean, and they say, oh, well, I don't use YouTube. That's a lie, because half the videos on Facebook is connected to a YouTube page. So you click the link and you go to YouTube. Don't play with me. I know.
But
don't play with me.
But I'm doing this speed dating thing this Saturday.
Okay.
On the group, on the fan page. 400 people have expressed either interest or they said they're going. If you can do that,
right,
go to my YouTube page. It's right there.
And that's one of the reasons why I stopped streaming my lives on Facebook.
I suspect that. I understand that.
It went straight to YouTube. So if you want to see, I'll do like clips and things I put on the pages. But if you want to see the full episode or whatever, or you want to, see the live, you got to go to YouTube. Wow. And now I figured out the way when you're doing your live on YouTube, they can't comment unless they subscribe.
Okay. I might have to do that too. I may have to do that too. I hate to do that though, but
they can't leave a comment. They can't comment in the chat unless they subscribe.
Yep. Well,
it's sad though, because
it's sad. Yeah.
All the people like my family members that have businesses and things, and when they do things, and friends from school and stuff when they do things, and I make it my business. If I can't buy, I will definitely shout you out. I'll post your stuff on all my social media platforms or whatever. I give you some type of support. But when it comes to silence, baby, I call it hateration, baby.
It's sad though, but but in fairness, now some businesses provide lousy services.
True.
Some business you'll be like, they got bad attitudes. They're like, well, dang, I'm trying to support you.
Yeah,
I'm trying to give you my dollars.
Right.
But it's kind of a two-edged sword. It's hard for you to get people to support you. On the other hand, sometimes we could be our worst enemies, though.
Well, I see it like this. If I support you, you at least have to support me too, because we're supposed to be in this together. Now, if you look at me as competition, then I can understand your plight. But if we're not even in the same arena, why are we not supposed to, supporting each other? Like, like if you go on my Instagram, I support all my podcasters on there. I don't even care if we, just talked about the same thing. Like if they put something, I'll repost it on my, it's called support.
And she does that, folks. She's not sitting up here telling the story. I mean, how she support SBC? You think she on the SBC payroll? So she does it. She does it, folks.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like that. I mean, it's supposed to be a community, and if we want to get ahead as Black people, we need to be able to support one another and boost one another. And it's not, So.
Yeah. Sasha says you'll find out who's real when it comes down to needing support. When you're trying to accomplish something. Sad that many times friends and family are last on the list. Many times it's jealousy. They don't necessarily want what you have. They just don't want you to have it.
I just said it. Iteration. Just said it.
That's terrible. You know, instead of us pouring into each other's cup,
right,
or in each other's bowl.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And it's a sad when it gets like that. And then it hurts sometimes when it's like the people that you think will support you and they don't. When they're not there, it's like, okay, why, you know? I'll be like, okay, whatever, ho.
Yeah, they encouraged me to do subscription. Well, I mean, I'll think about it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, just it's when you go to the your studio, and when you set up your studio in YouTube, it'll ask you about the comments.
Yeah,
and just hit like only people that subscribe can comment.
Yeah, we'll do that. Like I said, I'll think about it after this week. Got a lot of stuff to do this week, though. So, guess what, folks? Guess what?
Right.
We are out.
Oh, I get to go to sleep now?
Yes, we are out of time. Ain't that nothing? We are out of time.
Because let me tell you, y'all, I was sitting here sleepy. Okay.
Yeah. She been big, but she kept a word and she showed up though.
Yes,
I truly appreciate.
Yes.
So before I do the announcement, what you having this week?
This week I have a lot of interviews. Well, actually, people are interviewing me, so it's the opposite. Tomorrow at 10 a.m. I have a interview with a podcast called Dope and Damage in Germany.
Oh wow!
So that should be interesting. Then that evening I'll be doing another podcast. It's called Lingo Podcast. It's a husband and wife. We're doing Battle of the Sexes.
Mm-hmm.
I'll post something in or I think maybe whatever he posts for the show, I'll post it in Instagram and then I'll tag you in it, Mike.
Yes, ma'am.
Then Thursday I have another one. I forgot who it was. I forgot the girl's name. Yeah, so this week it's no Red Lipstick Vibes live podcast. It's just I've been
you don't have enough time.
Yeah, I've been called to do other things, interviews and join other people's podcasts this week. But I will be dropping OG Dad's latest episode.
Yes. And one of my best friends love it.
I'll be dropping his latest episode, y'all. Lord have mercy.
I'm gonna share a link to the group. So y'all. So thank you. I'm gonna read these announcements right quick. Possibly coming up next is the after party. Okay, come in and join us. You know, it's Tuesday night, so we probably won't be on there long because a lot of y'all got to go to work and all that. And then come Saturday it's today. We still need some fellas to join us though. So hey, we still got time. The slots are now closed for women, even though we still got women filling out registration forms that are for men. So, I don't know why y'all do that. So still join us. And what time that'll be? At 10 p.m. 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And of course, it starts all over again next week, Lord willing, with another exciting edition of Tuesday Talk. And just come join us and see what we'll be talking about next week, though. So, Ty, I truly appreciate this. I've enjoyed this.
Anytime.
I enjoyed this. So please get you some rest.
Yes.
Get you some rest, lay down.
Yes.
And without further ado, thank you all for supporting us. Thank you for being here with us. Thank you. If nothing else, night, y'all.
Night.
Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. You know, a lot of my brothers are dead or gone, but they've been hanging on the block a little too long. What can I say? I hope they live to see a brighter day. And the ones that are doing fine, God bless you, 'cause you're doing fine. At the end of the day, don't forget about me. As days turn to weeks, and weeks turn to years, oh, I feel for my brother. And as time passes by, I still not satisfied. Oh, I feel for my brother. Feel for my brother. The street life used to be on, straight up hustling till the break of dawn. Taught me how to do wrong right, everything is tight. But somehow things started to change. Try to get us straight up out of the game. You couldn't see what I saw. The empire was starting to fall, and everything that I said never seemed to get into your head. I tried to do